Appreciate everybody tuning in again. We've been doing some great things, and I appreciate, on behalf of our producer and director, Mr. David Stevens, Life After Basketball with Terrell Brandon. I hope everyone's enjoying our content. And this particular episode is a little bit different that I wasn't expecting, but there have been some things that's coming, not in an egotistical way, but my way that a couple of people have been commenting on. And even though this is Life After Basketball, I did play basketball. And so there's a couple of things that I want to acknowledge and appreciate some people who have given it up to me. Once again, this is Life After Basketball with Terrell Brandon. Please do me a favor and subscribe and donate, please, because this project does cost. And put the thumbs up to us as well. We appreciate it very much. But my baby is coming up. I call him that not out of disrespect, but you know how it is when you get older and you have individuals that come after you. This young man came not just after me, but he really succeeded what we tried to do here in the City of Roses. Damon Stoudamire, y'all check this out real quick.
Yeah, from Portland.
Yeah.
And what most people
Pacific Northwest.
Right. And so what most people don't know is like, you know, AC Green, he was from Portland. But I would say, you know, respectfully, the dude that made all of us want to be that dude was Terrell Brandon. See, nobody really knew about TB.
That's a name
right
there.
So TB coming from Portland, like for me, TB was my Jordan. You know what I mean? So I used to go watch him religiously. So we grew up in the same community center, Matt Dishman. You know, if you was hooping, you was Matt Dishman. You was either Matt Dishman or ASP. But me and TB was Matt Dishman. So he was older than me. So I always watched him and wanted to be him. And then when he got to high school, it was the same thing. He wasn't highly recruited. You know, it came that he had Oregon and like Montana State, but everybody knew TB was a homebody. So everybody knew TB was gonna go to Oregon. So what happened was that I just kind of seen his evolution. And so he inspired me. And then my thing was, I didn't want to stay home for school. I wanted to be like, okay, let me get out of here because I need to give a lot of other dudes inspiration coming behind me to know that, man, we can get out of here
make it
and we can go make it. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that very much, man. You know, and a lot of times when you go through this situation, you're not in this to inspire the same way that as you heard Damon Stoudamire say. You know, for him to even feel like that I was his Michael Jordan, I mean, that is very, very inspiring. I appreciate him very much. I love him. When he comes to Portland, we sit on my porch and we talk about the present and the past. And shout out to him at Georgia Tech University. I mean, he is definitely the great of all time here in the City of Roses. We appreciate him very much. He won championships as well. You know, Damon wasn't the type of player who just played and for stats, but he had that drive that he wanted to be the best of all time, and he didn't have a short man's complex. Damon was the type that he gonna come at you raw, he gonna pull up, he was strong, he was aggressive, and anytime you have an international nickname like Mighty Mouse, you have to be special, and I love him from the bottom of my heart. And for you to even take out the time, Damon, to even acknowledge your boy, and man, from the bottom of my heart, man, I appreciate it very much. Check this out. Along those lines, on Knucklehead, didn't even know that this was going to happen, but Baron Davis ended up giving me a shout out. Y'all check this out.
Dimes, all that. I would say him, Terrell Brandon.
People forget about TB. TB had a wave.
Man, I sure appreciate that, Baron, man. And anytime a Pac-10 point guard, you know, I know they call it the Pac-12 now, but you know, we part of the Pac-10, and he went to UCLA, I went to University of Oregon. Two different type of decades, two different times, but for him to even mention me, and I do remember when he was with the Charlotte Hornets back in the day, and we played against each other, and he was so strong and so aggressive. But one thing about Baron was he was very smart. He was a type of point guard that can start off slow, get people involved, act like he just wasn't even involved, and all of a sudden, in the second quarter, he can turn it on and go for 10 and 12 in the quarter. He understood the game. His basketball IQ was absolutely spectacular. He was a rebounding point guard, and most of us coming from the Pac-10, you know, Derek Martin, Damon Stoudamire, Gary Payton, Jason Kidd, blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? You know, Fat Lever. We always was not just scoring point guards, you know, Jason Terry. I can go on Isaiah Thomas. Don't get me started. Gilbert Arenas. Y'all know what time it is. But Baron Davis, Russell Westbrook, please. But Baron Davis was one of those players that you just enjoy playing against, but one thing about it is he's going to embarrass you 2 or 3 times during that game. So I appreciate you, Baron, for even acknowledging me and never knew that I was one of the players who bust your you know what. So I appreciate that very much. And lastly, Katino Mobley. He was one of those big guards from the Houston Rockets. Check out what he said.
Who was the first person to bust your ass?
Oh, man. You know what's funny, man? Remember Terrell Brandon?
Yes.
Man, listen, he was
Minnesota Timberwolves
yes,
or
man.
it was Cavalier? It was Minnesota
he was with Minnesota at the time.
Yeah.
So he was with KG.
KG, I remember that.
I'm thinking I'm bigger than him. I'm longer. I got this guy.
Yeah.
Man, when I tell you I cried after the game. I literally cried. I thought I was going to get cut.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I thought I was going to get cut. Because it was the first time in my life where I couldn't figure, the game was going so fast, I couldn't figure nothing out.
Mentally, he was just on you.
He was coming off pick and rolls. I'm a
He
millisecond
was
late
a
and he was
killer,
pulling
too.
up. And Scotty and them was just looking at me like, keep playing. I'm like, keep playing. Y'all gonna cut?
Man, Katino Mobley, man, I never knew that anyway. Katino Mobley was one of those big guards, left-handed, coming out of Rhode Island. You remember he played with Lamar Odom. They was a great duo, had a great NCAA run. But when Katino Mobley, Steve Francis, Moochie Norris, they all was there in Houston, they were so young, and they were just running up. All 3 guys was playing 42, 43 minutes a game. Katino Mobley was one of those guys. He was, I would say, before his time. He had a very mature game. Even though it's coming from the left-hand perspective, any shot that he wanted to get, he made sure that he got it in his range. He had 3-point range. He had mid-range game. And what I loved about him is when he went to the free throw line, he always had a great detail of shooting free throws at a high percentage. I appreciate you, Katino, man. Much respect to you, man. Never knew that happened, man. So you make me feel good, Katino, man. I appreciate that very much. And also I want to say shout out to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Most of you know that in the City of Roses, Portland, Oregon, I'm not much into jewelry these days, but if you see that I have a ring on, and the Cleveland Cavaliers honored me, and I don't like to say me, but our family to be in the ring of honor of the Cleveland Cavaliers. And so from now on, you will see me wearing this ring on all our podcasts, just giving a shout out to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and much respect to Gordon Gunn, much respect to Mr. Wayne Emery, much respect to Coach Lenny Wilkins, the one who drafted me, and all the players who taught me how to be a pro. Mark Price, Larry Nance, Brad Doherty, Winston Bennett, John Battle, Danny Ferry, John Morton, Mike Sanders, Coach Steve Kerr. I appreciate you all very, very much. Rod Higgins, love you so much, man. Much respect to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
And then I was a free agent, signed in Minnesota. And that was cool because one of my really, really good friends, Kevin Garnett, was the guy there. So it was a chance for me to really kind of rehab my career at that time. You know, I was back healthy from the shoulder, and it was like it was a chance for me to, like, they had a point guard there named Terrell Brandon, who always was a big fan of his game, but I was more a big fan. He's just the best dude ever. So it was going to give me an opportunity to learn from TB. And there was no pressure, no stress on me. I was going to be coming off the bench behind him. And man, he took an interest in me that I felt really changed my career. We sat right by each other in the locker room. He taught me everything. How to watch film, how to study my opponents, how to read pick and rolls. We was about 10 games into the season, and we're playing, I think it was the Spurs or something. It's halftime. We come in, he's pissed off. But man, he had like 16 and 7 at the half. I'm thinking he's playing so well. And so I'm like, TB, what's going on? He said, this game ain't going right. And I said, well, why? He said, let me just tell you something. As a point guard, when your best player, so KG,
Once again, this is Life After Basketball with Terrell Brandon. Just want to give you a little nugget to let you know how much I appreciate everybody that has come on so far. And we have so many guests that we have great content. Trust me, you will really enjoy it. Life After Basketball with Terrell Brandon. Please subscribe, share, and like, and please donate because we really need it. Take care of yourself. Much love to you.